We got Chief Billy Mason with our police department, Jasper Police Department. What we want to do is we want to share these videos, all the videos, both officers, where the paramedics can check the gentleman out, and we also want to share the video where we're transporting him to the jail. And then we've got copies at the end of the police report. You've got copies of all the videos, and we have pictures of the firearm we're talking about. So if you want to, we'll get started with the videos first. We'll start with Officer 1.
Officer 1, this will be the initial stop.
I need to adjust the sound, let me know.
Highway 28, Tennessee, 078, Bravo Bravo X-ray, Delta. They're right before the hospital up here. Hey guys, how we doing?
Hey, I'm so sorry.
I'm glad I was paying attention because you sure wasn't.
I'm so sorry. I hate driving on the interstate. It makes me nervous, and I still a little jittery. I'm sorry. My registration's in here somewhere.
Okay, speak driver license, registration, insurance, and also your passenger's ID if it's got one of them.
Just turn them over.
Does he got an ID on him?
I can't find it. The car's registered to me and my mother.
Okay. That's fine. Does he have his ID? You have your ID on you?
For what?
I'd just like to know who I'm approaching, sir.
My name's Sal. We're into it.
Do what now? I'm guessing who's been drinking tonight? You been drinking?
I've been drinking.
I've not drunk. I don't drink because I've got
Who's
high.
been drinking? Have you been drinking? Has she been drinking? I've been drinking.
I have.
Have you been drinking? My mother's out.
I don't drink because I have high blood pressure.
Okay.
And
Do you have any way to
I've got,
identify yourself, sir?
I had a stroke receiver, and so my speech is still kind of messed up. And that makes me nervous, especially talking to y'all.
I'm going to be honest with you. No disrespect to the saying. I've done nothing wrong.
Yes, sir, you're detained right now with this vehicle right now.
For what
The
reason?
vehicle is stopped. So you're in the vehicle, so yes, you have done something wrong right now, sir.
What have I done?
You are part of the vehicle stopped, therefore you are stopped along with this vehicle, therefore you are detained along with this vehicle, you are inside this vehicle, therefore I didn't take your information, sir. What's the name of that bird?
My name is Sal. We're into it.
You told me
Or Thomas.
What's his name, man? What's his name?
I don't care about Saul.
What he says.
What?
Sal, I can't say his last name.
Is this your husband?
No,
Or
we're friends.
What is sir? I need to know your name and birth.
I have done nothing wrong.
Okay, what is it about the vehicle, sir.
I will not.
Yes, sir, I need you to. Please, if you're going to give us some, you cannot do it. Well, get on the car. Get on the car. So anybody step on the car for me?
Can I ask you a question?
So I just told you I need to step out. You're part of the traffic
I don't
stop.
have an ID.
I have a right to ask you to step out of the vehicle.
I
I'm
understand.
asking you to step out. Now you can step out, I'm gonna get you out. Which one do you want to do this?
Please don't do that.
Well, then step out for me, sir.
I'm trying real hard.
Take your seatbelt off and step outside for me, sir. You're
I'm
part of
trying
the
to
traffic
understand
stop.
what I'm
Okay, I'm not gonna play this game with you.
I'm not.
Go ahead, step out of the car for me.
Sir,
Sir, step out. Step out.
Please, sir.
Get out of the car.
Please, sir.
Get out of the
Yeah, we got
Sir,
more
please.
to go.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Get up.
Please, sir.
Just get out and cooperate.
Please, sir.
You're gonna be paper spray. Get out of the car.
I'm
Get out of
trying.
the car.
I'm trying.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
I'm trying to cooperate.
Get out of the car.
Sir, I've done nothing
Get out of the
wrong.
car.
I've done nothing wrong. Officer, please report this. Please report this. Please report this. Please report this. I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong.
Hey, see, Derek.
Officer, I've done nothing wrong.
Just step out, dude. You're
Sir,
making
I've
this a
done
lot worse
nothing
than it
wrong.
has to be.
I'm not trying to resist.
Yes, you're being
I'm just trying to ask,
uncooperative.
what did I do wrong?
Get out of the car.
What did I do wrong? Sir, please. Sir, please.
Get out. Just get out and be cooperative. This ain't gotta be this hard.
I'm asking.
You're making it
I'm
hard.
not trying to make it hard.
Yeah, you are.
I'm asking, what have I done
Get
wrong?
out.
I'm a passenger in a vehicle. This is pulled over.
Get out of the car.
Officer,
Get out of the car.
Get
out of the car.
Officer, please don't.
Get out. I told you 50 times. Get out.
Please.
You're part of the traffic stop. I told you.
Get from my car.
I'm refusing. I'm not
Get out of the vehicle.
I'm not refusing. Officer, I'm not refusing.
Get out of the car.
Please, you don't get my eyes. Please, officer. Officer,
Get out of the car.
please. Please, officer. Please. Officer, please.
Get out of the car.
I'm
Just
trying-
get out.
I'm trying to get out.
Get out of the car.
He's trying to hurt me.
Get out of the car.
I'm not trying to be a success.
You don't have to stop pushing me.
Please.
Get out of the vehicle now.
See.
Get
I
out.
can't see, officer.
Get out.
I can't see, officer. Officer, please. Officer, please. Officer, please.
Get out of the car now. Out of the car. Take you again. Get out. Get out. You're taking again. Get out.
No, sir, please. I'll get out.
Get out of the car now.
Sir, please.
Get out.
I'll get out. I'll
Get out.
Get out.
Get out of the car now. On your stomach.
On the
I can't
ground.
see. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Please. Please.
Give us the other hand now.
Please, ma'am. You said I didn't do anything wrong.
You made it twice as hard as you had to.
I wasn't trying to. I'm just trying
Is he always like this?
wrong.
What's the issue? Drinking?
My partner. Stop this vehicle.
Because you always got T-bone because somebody wasn't paying attention.
You didn't identify yourself. I asked you to step out of the vehicle. I have the right to ask you to step out. There's a motor, there's an AR. There's a weapon in the back of this vehicle.
What?
I've asked you to step out of the car.
We don't know that.
I understand.
I asked you to step out for my safety. And you refused to step out.
Go behind there, please.
There's an assault rifle I have in the car. That is an officer safety issue.
I did not know.
Now I'm in pepper spray trying to deal with you.
Sir, I'm sorry. I was
Sorry,
I
now
did
you're
not
going to
know.
jail.
I'm waiting for you to get to Waffle House. I'm asking you to ride to Waffle House. That's all I wanted was Waffle House. I did not know there was anything in the car. Swear to God. I am.
What are you doing, Sal?
I am drunk.
You know,
I was going to get food.
Do you recognize me?
I can't see you.
Is it always like this?
I cannot see you.
All you had to do was cooperate, man.
Brother, I was trying to.
No, he was not.
Cooperate. He stopped you. I told you to stop with the vehicle. I
Roll
asked you to
47.
refuse it. And the load on the back seat.
Temple.
Go ahead and get him up.
Go ahead, roll.
I'm over his side and stand up for me.
I can't see.
Put your knees up to your stomach.
I can't see either.
There you gonna come up.
Stand up.
Listen, I don't know where I'm going. Please,
In the back of
somebody.
one of these cars.
I
Get out in the car.
understand.
You got paid for it.
But I didn't do anything wrong, so I was trying to go get some food. I can't see, officer. Please don't got me and do anything worse than what the hell y'all done did to me. Please, just, please don't got me anywhere that I didn't need to be. I was just trying to get some food out of
All you had to do was cooperate,
I'm
man.
trying.
Officer said you step out of the vehicle.
But if you step out of public
We
drive,
got a 47 something.
if you step out of the vehicle and you ain't done the wrong, it's public drive. Sir, can I
Sit down
please
for a
get some
minute. Sit down for a
water?
minute.
Can I get some water, please, for my eyes? I'm
Just
sorry.
1 second.
I'm not a violent guy. I'm
Stay
not
out there.
I just didn't understand the reason I was doing it. And I'm just trying to go get something to eat. I swear to God, if you don't call me or any one of us go that police department, I'll tell you, I'm not a fucking troublemaker. I promise.
Then why would you not just step out of the vehicle when my
Because
partner
I
asked you
didn't
to?
understand, brother, what
When
the
the
hell
officer
I was
tells
doing.
you to step out of the vehicle, you step out. You're detained on a traffic stop right
I'm
now.
sorry for that. I didn't understand it. I'm drunk.
Well, we explained it to you multiple times.
I didn't understand it. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm not a troublemaker. Yeah. And I'm not.
We got an ambulance coming. They're gonna check you out, get the darts out of you, wash your face off.
Brother, I'm not a troublemaker, man.
I'm not saying you are. That didn't have to go that way. You made it go that way.
Actually, your officer was a little aggressive because I told him, I asked him, why was I getting detained and why was I
You're on a
getting
traffic stop. You're automatically detained when the blue lights get behind you.
Okay,
The vehicle is
okay,
stopped.
I'm sorry, but I didn't understand the whole scenario of why we was being detained because I'm drunk. I was the passenger.
Yeah, obviously you're drunk.
No,
That don't matter, sir. I have the right to ask you to step out of the vehicle. You refuse to get out. There's a loaded gun in there. I'm worried about that car for my safety. I no dark for you.
Yeah, we got 47 coming. I don't know where I done with her damn license. Boy, I got this at 27.9. Zero 86 519 461.
The AR in the back, I forgot that I had it in my car. I'm so sorry because I would.
It's Tennessee. You're allowed to have guns,
I know.
but you got to put yourself in our
I
shoes.
would.
And the way he was acting, we didn't know what his intentions
My
were.
brother-in-law's Papa wouldn't give anything down, you know. And I know that. I know. I wish that I.
I mean, this could have been a citation. Y'all been on y'all's way.
I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Lashawnia, Ashton, Valley, Black Hilton, local.
Which one? I got a 25. 24.
If y'all want to circle around, he's on that side of that car over there. He just got taser darts in him. He's been pepper sprayed.
Are one of you guys pepper sprayed? Someone told us you guys.
Yeah, my partner, and I got it on me, but I'm alright.
There might be another airsoft gun in that car.
Okay.
It's my son's. It's probably in the trunk because he fixes them, and he just brought that back from my aunt or my sister from his aunt.
Like I said, just put yourself in our shoes.
I know. I wouldn't want.
If y'all if he'd been cooperative and stuff, but once we have a gun in play,
I understand.
and then he's acting like he's acting, I don't know his intentions, my partner don't know his intentions.
I know.
Stuff goes bad really
My
quick.
brother-in-law's a cop.
Who's your brother?
It's the same thing. He works in China to get his internal affairs. He's been one for as long as my daughter's been. And I don't blame y'all for what y'all did. Y'all have a job to do. People get arrested because they're stupid. People wouldn't be stupid, you wouldn't have to do your job.
You heard it. All I asked was for his identification. You don't know if people have that. I mean, he could have had a warrant for outstanding murder charges for all I know. I don't know him. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
I'm trying to identify him for my safety and my partner's safety.
I understand.
So question, does milk actually work?
No, it does not work. It's fresh running water and then pat it dry. Do not
You got
rub
any
it.
paper towels or anything?
Yeah, let me go get some.
Thank you.
Oh, God, thank you so much.
Sorry.
You thought it was.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
I don't want to rub it.
Yeah, I was coming down through here, and then she blows the stop sign, and I mean, I almost T-boned her. So I immediately just turned my lights on. And
She
then,
intoxicated too.
no, she's not. He definitely is.
Didn't stop for his house, all an officer.
How long have you known this guy?
He's been in Dunlap for a while.
Got his friends?
Yeah, we're just friends.
Bless your heart.
If you'll lean down just a little bit, kind of lean down, and turn your head toward me, turn your chin toward me. This way. Well, no, blink a little bit if you can.
I'm being off my can't blink. All I can do is home where they're at. The more you think the better.
So we got the gun in play in the back. We didn't know information. So we're trying to be safe for that. And then Justin asking for identification. I've already asked him twice. He's ignored. Justin's asking for it, and he's like, no, I'm not here for you. No. And Justin goes and tells him to step out of the car, and that's what confused him. And then the fight was on from there.
Because I apologize. I mean, I'm trying to not go
He can't handle his alcohol, and he don't need to be out driving around or in public anywhere.
I'm trying to do something. I wasn't trying to stop him.
Could have just been some tickets. That ain't your fault. He done that to himself. That is.
No, that is mine. I have a friend that is a tenant. He's my stepdad. That's Sal. Sal, I can't say his last name. Clifford Stills is my stepdad, and he passed away. Sal Hershowitz, I can't say his last name.
Michelle knows him.
last name. I had a stroke in December, so I can't.
Right, calm down, right. Don't get worked up. I'm gonna go ahead and work on South for now anyway.
I'll get it, sir.
Camera going off, elevations.
Alright, now we're gonna show you the one where the second officer approached the passenger side.
Can we get the officer's name for the first one?
The first officer's name is Officer Derek Long. The officer that approaches on the passenger side is Officer Justin Graham.
Okay, thank you.
Does it sound okay for me?
Y'all listen close, you'll be able to hear the second officer say there's an AR in the back seat.
Dude, get an AR back on that street. The question is, who's been drinking? Have you been drinking? Has she been drinking? Who's been drinking? Okay, well, you've been drinking. Well, my part was asking her. So, do you have an ID with you, sir?
I do not. No, sir.
Okay, can you have any way to identify yourself, sir?
Yes, sir. Kevin Snyder, Dunlap, Tennessee.
What's your date of birth, sir?
I'm fine.
What's your date of birth, sir?
I'm gonna be honest with you. No disrespect, I'm gonna say it. I've done nothing wrong.
Yes, sir, you're detained right now with this vehicle right now because the vehicle is stopped. So you're in the vehicle, so yes, you have done something wrong right now, sir.
What have I done?
You're part of the vehicle stopped, therefore you are stopped along with this vehicle, therefore you are detained along with this vehicle, you are inside this vehicle, therefore I need to know your information, sir. What's your name and date of birth?
My name is Sal Barentowitz.
No, you told me it was Kevin Stouter.
Thomas Austin, Dunlap, Tennessee.
I don't care about Thomas Austin, I know he's an attorney, that means nothing to me. What is your name and date of birth, sir?
Barentowitz.
No, we're free.
Do what now, sir?
Sir,
I need to know your name and date of birth.
I have done nothing wrong.
Okay, go ahead and step out of the vehicle for me, sir.
I will not.
Yes, sir, I need you to.
Please, and
You're part of this vehicle, stop me, step out of the vehicle for me.
what I do
Go ahead, step on
wrong?
out the car, please, sir.
What I do wrong?
Step out, sir. Sir, go ahead, step out of the vehicle for me.
Sir,
Sir, you need to go ahead and step out of the car for me.
can I ask you a question?
I just told you I need to step out. You are part of this traffic
I don't
stop.
have an ID.
I have a right to ask you to step out of the vehicle.
No,
I'm asking you to step out. Now, you can either step out or I'm going to get you out. Which one do you want to do this?
Please don't do that.
Well, then step out for me, sir.
I'm trying real hard.
Take your
to
seatbelt off and step
understand.
outside for me, sir. You are part of this traffic stop, sir. Okay, I'm not going to play this game with you.
I'm not.
Go ahead, step out of the car for me.
Sir, I'm not
step
trying
out.
to play games. Please, sir.
Get out of the car, please, sir. Get out.
Sir, please. Please, sir. Please, sir.
Get out.
Please, sir.
Get out, cooperate.
Please, sir. I'm trying to
Get out of the car.
I'm trying to. I'm trying.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
I'm trying to cooperate. Sorry, I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. Officer, please record this. Please record this. Please record this. Please record this.
I'm sorry, I can't see.
I've done nothing wrong,
I can't see, Derek.
Officer, I've done nothing wrong.
Tell me the other units. I'm just, the point I'm seeing, I can't see nothing. Ain't other units.
Get out. I'm a passenger in the vehicle. Hold on. Get in the car. Officer, please. Get out of the car. Officer, please don't.
Get out of 50.
Officer, please.
Stop. That's you. You're
refusing.
Get out of the vehicle.
I'm not refusing. Officer, I'm not. I'm not refusing.
Get out of the car.
Please. Can I get my eyes? Please. Officer. Please, officer. Please. Officer, please.
Get out of the car.
I'm just trying to feel. He's not letting me.
Get out of the car.
My nuts. He's trying to hurt me. I'm not trying to be a statistic. Please. Yes, I can't see. I can't see, officer. I can't see, officer. Officer, please. Officer, please. I can't see. Officer, please. No, sir, please. I'll get out. Please.
Get out.
Get out of the car!
Get out. Get out of the car now.
Get off the roof!
Oh,
Get out of the
Please. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Please. Officer,
Give us
please.
your other hand now!
Please, this man just said I'm in the 18 round.
You made it twice as hard as you had to.
I wasn't trying to. I just tried to find out what I did wrong. What I did wrong.
My partner, stop this vehicle.
Because you only got T-bones, somebody will pay you.
You refuse to identify yourself. I asked you to step on the vehicle. I have the right to ask you to step out. There's a wife in the back of this vehicle.
What?
I've asked you to step out of the car. I don't care what it is they gun. I asked you to step out for my safety. He refused to step out.
I'm sorry.
Officer, I had no idea there was a weapon.
There's an assault rifle in the back of this car.
Officer,
That is an officer safety issue.
I did not know.
Next like the pepper spray trying to deal with you.
Sir, I'm sorry.
You're sorry now because you're going to jail.
I went to go get some Waffle House. I asked you for a ride to Waffle House. That's all I wanted.
Well, now you're going to jail. $405, County. Full been hands on, OC deployed, taser deployed.
All you gotta do is cooperate now.
Brother, I was trying to.
You did not try to cooperate. He stopped you. I told you were stopped with the vehicle. After I did, you refused it. There's a loaded gun in the back seat. Go ahead and get him up. Go over your side. Stand up for me.
I can't see.
But you never
I
said
can't either. I can't see either.
You come up.
Stand up.
I don't know where I'm going, please.
To the back of one of these cars. We all put him in a car. He's got taser darts in him.
I didn't do anything wrong.
You don't know what the police told you to do.
Hey, he's got darts still in him. Let me get them darts out of him. Derek, he's got darts in him still. Put the popping darts out of him. Get some gloves and get some darts out of him. That's all his stuff, I reckon. I can't see nothing, dude. I can't see, man. So basically, I pull up here to back my partner up. He's got the vehicle stopped. We smoke off over the vehicle. This guy immediately starts giving an attitude, won't tell who he is. Talk about calling Thomas off and blah, 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 blah. Avoid any conversations. There's a gun in the back seat. You can sit right here at AR. I said, I need you to step out. He said, I don't have to get out. I said, yes, sir, you do. Your brother's traffic stop. You're getting out too. I have the right to ask you to for officer safety. He refuses. I give him multiple times. He won't. I take his seatbelt off, try to get him out. Fights on him. I spray him with mace. It blows back in my face, and we just start going at it. That's true. Well, I need to do something here in a second. I can't see crap, man. Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine, man. I can't see. I can't see nothing, man. I'm going to pull them darts at him, though.
I'm the passenger.
Yeah, obviously you're drunk. That don't matter. I have the right to ask you to step out of the vehicle. You refuse to get out. There's a loaded gun in there. I'm worried about that fire for my safety. I explained to you when I'm multiple times. You refuse. Those darts go in him. I'm about to kill my officer. Do what?
I understand 110%.
Oh, you got an ambulance?
I understand 110% that you was here for your safety.
Yeah, well then you should have done what I told you to. You are now. I'll grab it here in a minute. Oh my God, buddy. Yeah, I just can't see shit. I know if I put that water on, it's going to hurt worse. Do what now? I would never give me no information, refuse to step out of the vehicle for me. I told him to get out. There's a loaded AR in the back seat. I told him to get out for officer safety. He refused. I told him multiple times that I don't have to be a passenger. I said, under federal law, yes, you do have to get out of the back and step out. You can step out of the vehicle. Still wouldn't get out. Open the door, try to pull him out, and the fight is on. Big old guy. It's gonna be fake, Derek. I'm gonna go ahead and take it in my evidence. Yeah, I have to, because that's gonna be my reason for why I told him to get out of that car, and he refused to. And I'm asking the question, ma'am. Yeah, I'm taking it with me. We're past that part now. He's drunk or crap. Yeah.
Hey, do you want this?
What is that?
It's sterile water to flush out your eyes.
So you guys might pat it with.
We do have a truck, yeah. I can grab you stuff, but we need to wash it out first. You don't want the residue soaking the floor.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't want it to get all over me.
Let's see if we can have you sit down on a bumper or something and tilt your head. Do that.
That's a hardcore. Hey, he's got some taser darts still in him. He's in my car, I say, yes, ma'am.
Let's see how far you can lean to one side. You just pick a side.
I got you.
Do you need me to hold a radio?
I'm actually a pepper spray instructor, so I'm used to this.
Oh, okay.
It sucks.
Quick question, does milk actually work?
No, it does not. It's worse. Just fresh running water and then pat it dry. Do not rub it, just pat it. Oh, God, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. I don't want to rub it.
Yeah, I was coming up through here, and then she blows the stop sign, and I almost hit on her. So I immediately just turned my lights on.
She intoxicated too?
No, she's not. He is there.
He going to jail. Resisting stop, frisk, cop, assault on an officer. I don't think you're on.
I'm gonna split it up into three, just so you can.
You know, I'm going to a water park when I get home too. That's gonna feel great.
Oh, you work at Christina's tomorrow as well.
Uh-huh.
I'm at Dollywood tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going down to Helen, Georgia to the big water park down there, and I know it's gonna feel great tomorrow on my face. Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Here's another set. When you're ready, you can just open your hand under your new dress.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I've got a whole other set too, just in case.
Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you so much. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you. There it is. Oh, the one that poured out all over the car. What's an Narcan for? Who's Clifford Sales? Who's this cat? Who? Who's he? He's driving with you and you don't even know his name now. You dealt with him, Michelle? Oh, it's from Dunlap.
He's from Dunlap. He's got a little car wash place across from Walmart. He's
Oh, wow.
all the time.
Lovely.
We'll go ahead and work on something.
Especially for officer safety.
That's what I told him. Yeah, he's a
Can't like that too much, did he? burning, but I'm good. Where the hell my pepper spray roll to? I'm missing it somewhere. Yeah, my OC, it's missing. I don't know where it's at. I sprayed him in the car right here, and I don't know where it could have went. Unless I thought it might have rolled into the vehicle or something. Huh. Oh, God. Huh. Oh. Where could I went to? I don't know where it went.
Okay, thank you.
Push the thing up. I don't know where it could have went. I mean, I went at it for a little bit. Huh? I found it. I think, no, that's my GPS. I shoved it in my pocket while I was fighting with him. Now he's going to find out where my little taser thing is so I can give it to Scott.
I think it was
It was still connected to him unless they yanked it off. I can tag that up and give that to LT. These pros still in him.
Yeah, we're gonna sit down here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I gotta do 12 legs and then we're good. Are you good?
Yeah, my face just burned. I'm good though.
Do you want to flush it? That little one?
Be alright.
Alright. And then after we do, You're okay, you're okay.
He wants the wires.
He wants the wires.
The hell's he want the wires for? 10-4. Well, out of it. Those out of it. Yeah, little burning. I'm supposed to go to a water park when I get work. But I guess I'll be going to water parks now because they're coming in the water and we're setting on fire. So.
And what about another one that should be okay? Worst thing ever.
Oh, it's awful.
I forgot how bad 3+2 was. I got sprayed with it again.
Oh, yeah. It's bad. When I worked in the sheriff's office, I was an OC instructor, so like I had to go and get doused every so many years. It was just awful.
They used to make us do the freaking exposure for OCCS for the team every freaking year.
It's bad, dude. Bad. Oh, it's bad.
Zach said he heard his flash pop out their camera, so they couldn't record.
Like Greg's nephew, we had old Yogi Stock. He come through. And if you drunk, and the police got people stopped, he come through video.
Oh, so he's distracted driving. Distracted driving.
He's already drunk. He's drunk anyway. He pulls in, says, what, and Swapper goes get him. And Swapper gets his identification next time up the street, goes back to run, and he gets out of the car. So I said, what are you doing? He said, what are you doing now? I'm going to get some beer.
So now I'm burning it up, boy. That's just awful.
Where was Macy on you for a minute?
Bad.
Put it right in your face.
Oh.
So I'm sure you got that freeze plus heat.
Oh, it's all the time. No, I quit carrying it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's
You got sick of it.
no, it's flammable. Like when I went to my OC course to get certified to be an instructor, we sprayed a t-shirt with, now it says non-flammable, that's a lie. We sprayed a t-shirt with it, hit it with a taser, caught the whole dummy on fire. So I started making the county and all of us carry the MK now. Fifth Technologies. That's the one Chief Powell wants y'all carrying if y'all carry one.
Well, I'll tell him he needs to get me some.
He's got a whole ton of them in his office to give out.
Down.
And before I left, he ordered a whole bunch for all the deputies, the COs, and then he put the extras in his office. He's got pouches and everything for them.
Well, no, I have to ask them.
Nope. And they're hot. They are hot. Hot.
Yeah, I can tell.
Hot. I couldn't see anymore. That's what happened when I hit him with it. We kept trying to fight. And I told Derek, I can't see. That's why I just come back and grab my microphone because this one won't work, of course. So I came and grabbed this, and I was like, get me units now. Derek's up there trying to fight this guy, and I couldn't see nothing.
I heard you say I can't see, and
Couldn't
that's
see.
all I got, and I was like, what's going on up there?
My face is on fire.
I'm on fire. I'm firing. I'm supposed to go to the water park in a couple hours.
What?
Supposed to go to a water park in a couple hours.
That'll clear.
Yeah, I'm going to Helen, Georgia when I get home.
Oh.
Go to a water park for my
Water
wife.
park or hose park?
Good deal. I ain't carrying the bars. I took the wire. The bar can go solder somewhere. I ain't gonna stick those in the bag.
I didn't know this. Taylor said you used to be gang affiliated at MOD, been in prison for 81 and have the letters approved.
Yep. Imagine that.
So, I'm coming out here, I'm running like 75. And I see the fire, I'm like, what's going on? So I slow down a little bit. I wouldn't even think my kitchen, like running something out, you know. I would think I did.
For sure.
It says somebody got one race, right?
Obviously, he wasn't.
Asked me his ID, he told me, Justin asked me, he's like, you need my ID?
Our federal law says I can ask you for it. It also says I can step out of the vehicle too when there's an AR in the back seat. Because I was just here for my safety, sir.
Just see the drive, you see everybody in that.
And I asked him multiple times, and he said he wasn't getting out, and the fight was on. That is what happens when you watch YouTube videos. You think you know the law.
Let's choose from. So, who wants to sign, since he doesn't want to go with us, to pull the things out, but like, he's all handcuffed and I don't want to, you know, like.
I got you.
So, I just need somebody to sign on behalf of. There you go. Otherwise, he's 12 lead and all that good stuff's all.
He's healthy, nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, his right now, it all looks good.
None of that stuff. He is perfectly fine. The taser didn't hurt him. No injuries on his person.
Well, he's got the, obvious
than the
things,
glove
but
hold,
no, his heart looks fine right now from all that, and
Yes, ma'am.
blood pressure was great.
Thank
so-
you very much. I appreciate
So
that.
we did that part. and-
Thank you for checking on him.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, you want to be arguing about that?
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you good?
I'm good. My face is on fire from where he was fighting me, but I'm good. Thank you.
Anything else you need?
I'm good, ma'am. Thank you.
I got him from here on my buttock.
I got you.
Good.
He's good. They said he's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with him. He's healthy.
You're chewing way worse than me. Did they give you some stuff to
Well, I just been in Jasper and went up out of here and halfway through coming across.
I'm going to cut this off while I have a discussion with my partner.
This is where he's being transported to the jail. It's just the officer and him.
I'm good. My eye, I'm hurting really badly. Do what? I don't know. I'm gonna try. I got your phone for you out of the car. I grabbed your phone out of the car. That way we'll be left in the car, okay? Yes, sir, me and my partner.
Now, which partner are you? I mean, are you the one that yanked me out of the news?
I'm the first one.
You're the first one.
Yes, sir.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, 498. Can I get one of y'all en route to New Hope on 377? We've got a tree blocking the road. That's several 911 calls. We've got 10 on route.
I was a pastor.
You're a pastor, sir, but federal law says that I can, and that once the vehicle's stopped, everybody in that vehicle is detained. I have the right to ask you, driver, anyone else out of that vehicle for officer safety purposes. There was a gun in the backseat of that car that I noticed as soon as I walked up that vehicle. It's an AR-15. I asked you to step out multiple times to identify yourself, and you refused. And you refused. You kept telling me you were Thomas Austin, who's an attorney. I know who Thomas Austin is. Your name obviously is not Thomas Austin. Why did you not just identify yourself and cooperate with me instead of fighting me and resisting me and refusing to get... Sir, if you were resisting me, I would have never pepper sprayed you. I would have never tased you. You would refuse to get out of the vehicle after I told you. That's not an... Being drunk is not an excuse to disobey federal law and refuse to step out of the vehicle. I said being drunk is not an excuse to disobey federal law and refuse to step out of a vehicle when you were asked to do so by a police officer.
If you're drunk, you're awkward, and if you're a passenger, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you as clearly as what you wanted me to.
Sir, I asked you multiple times to step out of the car.
You asked me several times, and I asked you...
And you refused. It does not matter that you're a passenger, sir. When that vehicle is legally stopped, which it was, you are detained, and everybody in that vehicle is detained with it. Passengers, anyone. I can ask you all to step out for officer safety. There was a AR assault rifle laying across that back seat. Yes, sir. After I checked it, luckily it was just a BB gun, but at the time, I had no idea what it was. That is why I was asking you to get out of the car, and you kept refusing me. You wouldn't tell me who you were. I knew you were intoxicated, and now you're intoxicated with what I thought was a live firearm, which is a serious threat to me.
Never would I have ever, never.
Well, you see where I'm coming from now?
I kind of understand where you're at with it.
Yes, sir.
I apologize because...
I've been a police officer for a long time.
I thought for myself that she, like, swerved up the line or something.
She did. That's what she was stopped for. She about hit my partner.
I'm sorry for that. I wasn't driving. And I was a passenger.
I'm aware that you're the passenger.
I was just trying to get something.
But I would still ask you to step out of that car for my safety, and you refused.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And then when I grabbed you by the arm to try to get you out, you resisted me and pulled it, and you pulled against me. You've been locked up before.
It made me feel offended and like.
But I was never disrespectful or anything to you. I wasn't threatening you or anything until you started resisting me. You're a big man. You pulled away from me. You wouldn't get out of the car.
I was trying to figure out why I was being pulled out.
After I pepper sprayed you, you still continued to fight against me and not get out of the car until I tased you.
But, I mean,
you're a large man. You're a lot bigger than I am.
I wasn't trying to.
I also carry a gun. I knew you could grab my gun. There's also a gun in that back seat that I thought was a live gun that you could have grabbed. I didn't know it was fake.
I understand where you're at. And I respect where you're coming from. And I had no idea that gun was in the back.
Yes, I'll be chanting with this subject. I'm sorry if I put it across the radio. I'm a little on fire right now. I'm not thinking much about that.
I'm sorry. I had no idea that thing was in there. And I apologize for the way you did.
He has been exposed to OC, guys, so y'all probably gonna get some on y'all. No, he's already had medical. He's already been seen by EMS, and he's fine to go.
Gentlemen, I'm not a threat. I promise you, I'm not a threat. I'm a friend. I'm a friend. I'm with the drug dealers. I'm attacking the life.
Sorry for the length. We want to make sure you saw everything from beginning to end and not cherry pick.
Can I change my batteries real quick?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Any questions you have for our attorney?
To get started, can we get your first and your last name and how to spell it?
My name is Mark Raines.
And the spelling?
R-A-I-N-E-S.
And you're the attorney for the police department?
I'm the attorney for the town of Jasper.
Okay. After watching the initial video, what are the first reactions about what happened?
Well, let me just say this first thing. The town has requested a review by the district attorney's office, and of course I would refer anyone to their office for comments on that. But the town requested that review, and so the district attorney's office is they're reviewing the videos and conducting whatever review they deem necessary. So we asked for that on behalf of the town. The first thing that comes to mind, it was the sequence of the way that the videos were played. It's not really, you don't really hear the discussion or talk about the AR-15 in the back of the vehicle on Officer Long's body cam, and that was the first one that was played for you. The weapon was identified by Officer Graham as he's walking up to the vehicle. You saw that, and he shined his flashlight in the back area and observed the weapon. That's when he began to ask the defendant to step out of the vehicle for officer safety. So that's how the procedure got started. If there's any question about the legality, or I know that he kept saying the officer, it was federal law that the defendant had to step out. The case he's referring to for that is Pennsylvania versus Mims, M-I-M-M-S. That's a 1977 United States Supreme Court case that basically says an officer has the right to remove all occupants from the vehicle during a traffic stop. And that's what happened here. It's obvious that the defendant is highly intoxicated. And so I think that contributed greatly to the difficulty in getting him to comply.
You can see from the photo of that gun. The orange tip is, of course, been removed. We have a copy.
And we also have a photograph of the fake weapon that was in the back of the vehicle compared to a live, real AR-15. You can't distinguish those unless you have a close observation. It's nighttime, it's midnight when the officers conduct the stop. They're using flashlights to shine through a window, and this is what this weapon on the bottom of this photo showing the two weapons is what Officer Graham observed and thought was a live AR-15 when he was conducting the traffic stop. And we have copies of these for you.
And it was confirmed a BB gun?
Yes, the officer confirmed on it. It's an airsoft BB gun, but quite frankly, it's almost indistinguishable
And that was the only weapon in the vehicle?
As far as we know. I don't think there was
no other weapon in there.
I know she mentioned there may be a second one. That was never discovered. I think probably the obvious question is, you know, about the strike from Officer Graham to the defendant, and that, you know, that's obviously a cherry-picked part of the video that whoever put this out on social media chose to display. But that is actually a procedure that is taught by the Tennessee Law Enforcement Training Academy. It's also part of the post procedures, that's police officer standardization and training, and it's also part of the Jasper Police Department Policy and Procedures Manual. And that procedure, it's called a brachial stun procedure. And it's a technique that is taught when you have these type of situations. It involves the officer using the soft part of his palm to strike the neck of the defendant to help gain compliance. It's actually I think it was based on a karate move. That's where it came from. But that is part of the procedure that's taught by the police academies. It's certified by the Post Commission, and it's part of the Jasper Policies and Procedures Manual. The reason typically that is applied to the neck, to the brachial artery. In this situation, the defendant moved or shifted, and instead of making contact with the neck, as you know, is taught in the procedure, it ended up he ended up making contact with the side of the defendant's head. But that, quite frankly, reaching across the defendant like that in the dark, you know, it's easy to see why, you know, it missed the target.
And if you slow the video down, you can actually see the fist.
You do need to slow the video down to see that it is the palm, the soft part of the palm that is used to employ the technique.
So there are no officers on leave, or going to be on leave?
Right now, the matter is still under review by the District Attorney's Office. That determination has not been made. From the initial observations, the officers followed all of the training and techniques from the Law Enforcement Academy, from the Post Certification Commission, and in accordance with the Jasper Police Department Policy and Procedure Manual. So there has not been any placement on leave or any of those actions taken at this point.
Are the charges from the driver dismissed?
No.
That is still a pending court case as far as I know.
With there being that gun in the back seat, is that going to be something that is charged with the driver, or is that related in any way?
Well, I don't know of any charge that's associated with the driver for that, because it's a BB gun. It's not unlawful to have a BB gun. So I'm not aware of any charges that would be lodged against the driver or the defendant in this case.
And at the time that I believe it was Mr. Sal being transported to the jail, what were the charges that he's looking at?
He has 2 counts of assault on a police officer. You recall?
Resisting arrest.
Resisting arrest, and was there one other?
Yeah, but I can't remember what it was.
That's available through the clerk's office at the county. I know that there were 2 counts of assault on the officer with resisting arrest, and there may possibly be one other count that I can't recall at this time.
Did they ever release his last name or his entire name?
Yes, it is an odd spelling. His last name is spelled HRYNECWICZ. And I haven't had a stroke like his girlfriend, but I still can't pronounce that name. So it is an odd spelling.
So did you know the relationship between the driver and the passenger? Did she
He
say
said it was his friend.
His friend, somebody? Okay.
Apparently he was taking it, or he had asked her for a ride to the Waffle House.
Okay.
But why they got off at the Mountco exit, I don't know, because the Waffle House is in Kimball.
Philip 28, I think he done 8.
Oh, okay.
So
or maybe he got confused with the Ho House. There's a Ho
Maybe.
House there too.
just for my own clarification, the traffic stop, were they pulled over because she was swerving, something was happening
No,
in the
she
road?
had run a stop sign.
Oh, okay.
And the officer had actually said that he was slowing down, he was watching her, and she, in his words, blew through the stop sign. If he had not been watching her, he would have, in his words, T-boned her. So she ran the stop sign, which is what precipitated the traffic stop for her vehicle.
What is the typical procedure for a traffic stop?
I'm the attorney, so I'll have to defer to the chief of police for that.
Well,
I could probably tell you, but I would rather that he do.
I mean, first of all, there has to be some kind of a traffic infraction or something that catches your attention to get behind the vehicle, whether you witness it or a call come in and you get behind them and witness, you activate your lights, you call in the tag, you pull the people over. And in his instant, he was coming south on 28, she got off the off-ramp going eastbound to get on 28, and she ran the stop sign right in front of him, and he almost T-boned her, so he initiated a traffic stop.
So if they had cooperated with
If
the
they
police
would have
officers, this wouldn't
cooperated,
have-
if everybody would have done what they were supposed to do, she would have got a traffic citation, they would have done a field investigation, found out that was a BB gun, and everybody would have went home.
At what point did things go wrong in this?
When he decided he was going to buy a lie about who he was and not get out of the vehicle. I mean, you seen the video. My officer treated him with the utmost respect, and he just didn't get it in return. That's what happens.
The defendant actually gave 4 different false names when he was asked for his identity, one of which was his attorney in Dunlap. So he was certainly not cooperative. And even though he's protesting that he's trying to get out of the vehicle, if you watch it closely, he's bracing himself in the vehicle so that it makes it more difficult for them to, remove him. You can see in the video his legs are braced against the floorboard. He's got an arm on the ceiling at one point, and so he was actively resisting being removed from the vehicle. If he would just got out, stepped out, I mean, he never would have probably even made contact with the ground.
Also, we haven't been contacted about any further from the defendant and the driver of the vehicle. We've not received any complaints or heard of any warrants or anything.
Was this video the first original viral video posted by someone in the car, or was this from
The driver.
else? The driver. Okay.
In the video, he asked her, please. It's almost like he knew what he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted her to video it, and he knew that he wasn't going to get out of the vehicle because that's what's on social media now.
We don't know if she's the one that actually posted the video or someone assisted her, but it was from her phone.
Does the driver or passenger have any previous charges?
I'm not sure about the driver.
I don't think she come back with a record. When they run the 28, she had no prior.
The defendant, I heard one of the officers say that there was a gang affiliation, and I think maybe that he had spent some time in jail, but I don't recall specifically what that was for or where that occurred. So it's possible that he does have a prior record, but I don't have enough information to give you further information on that at this point.
Well, I noticed that when he was arrested and the charges that y'all just discussed, he really had no reason not to get out from what he was showing. He was not hiding anything once he got out. He just didn't seem to want to get out.
He would have stepped out of the vehicle like he was requested. She would have gotten a ticket, and they would have both gone home.
So he had no reason. He wasn't hiding anything.
Most of your videos that you see on YouTube, that's what happens. They just don't want to cooperate. A police officer gives you respect. All you want to do is give it back, and everything will go smoothly. If you haven't done anything wrong, my officers are going to do their job. You respect them, they will respect you, or they better. That's what I tell them. No matter how many times you visit that jail, You're still a human being and you will respect them. And that's what my guys do. That's what they done in this case.
So the reason why the officer wanted the passenger to step out was safety concerns?
Officer safety, yes. He saw the AR, what he believed to be a live automatic rifle in the back, AR-15, and so the training on that is to remove the occupants from the vehicle and then secure the weapon or weapons.
I mean, you see one, we don't know if there's one by the console where he can get to. So you want to remove them from any type of threat to you or your partner or anybody else. The way to do that, exit the vehicle. If he didn't know it was in there and he didn't think he done anything wrong, all he had to do was get out. We do our thing, he gets back in and he goes home after she gets her ticket. He done nothing wrong until he started lying and not doing what he was told.
And you heard Officer Graham and Officer Long both state that they were concerned for their safety because of the weapon in the vehicle.
And so was it Officer Graham that identified that there was a gun in the car? Because
Yes.
on the first body cam footage,
Officer Graham is on the passenger side of the vehicle. He is the one that shines the flashlight in to see the weapon. Officer Long approached the vehicle on the driver's side, and so his body cam and flashlight would not pick up the weapon, which was located in the back seat behind the defendant.
So I know we were talking earlier, like, is there an investigation going on? Or
Well, we have requested that the district attorney's office conduct a review. I would not necessarily call that an investigation. The district attorney's office has been provided with the body cam footage. They're going to review that. If they think there is some action that needs to be taken, then they'll notify the town, and we'll take whatever appropriate action the district attorney's office tells us we need to take.
Okay, I guess I want to.
Us here, we're fully transparent. So when we see something like this, we want an outside agency to look at this, make sure our policies and procedures, that we're doing the right thing. So we ask them to review that. That's something we simply want them to look at and get an outside opinion. I think that's important that you do that.
I guess my question is just, what is the difference between review and investigation? Because when we talked to the DA, they told us that it was an investigation.
It's not. It's a review.
Well, I mean,
they may call it.
If they call it an investigation, then it's an investigation in their eyes. We asked for a review. We provided them the evidence, and so they're going to look at that. And if they think some action needs to be taken, they will refer that back to the town, and the town will take that action.
So, I guess like definition-wise, what would be the difference between review and investigation?
I don't know that there is a difference. I mean, investigations go on all the time anyway. That's a standard part of, anything.
Yeah.
It may be that if you associate that with some criminal charge, a lot of folks maybe associate investigation with that. But an investigation is merely, that's looking at the facts and seeing where the facts take you. Does it warrant further action? Was there something that was not done correctly, or something that was done correctly, or perhaps the procedure needs to be adjusted? The district attorney's office and I'll defer to them for their comment, because I don't want to put words in their mouth or say anything that would adversely affect what they're doing. If they think some additional action is required or is appropriate, they will refer that back to the town, and we'll take action on it.
Okay. That was more just from my knowledge, because I know you guys said we gave it to them to review.
Right.
But then saying that there's no difference between review and investigation. I guess I was just kind of like, that's where I was confused.
I think they're interchangeable.
Okay.
I mean.
So it is being investigated?
You can call it an investigation. We call it a review. If the DA said they're investigating, then they're calling it an investigation.
They were unaware of it. We took it to them to say, hey guys, take a look at this for us.
I mean, I have to review video all the time. When my guys do a certain job and their body cameras are on all the time, if somebody calls in and wants to make a complaint, I have them come do a written formal complaint. I'll review the video, If I deem that the video is satisfactory under our policies, then I get back in touch with the complainant, advise them what's on, and I even ask them, they're more than welcome to come see the video. If I deem that there's something that may be inappropriate, I'll refer over to the DA's office and have them review it. But that's just how we do things. We're transparent with it.
Yeah, okay. I was just referring back.
More minds and more eyes are better than one.
Seeing that there was that gun in the car, was there at any point that officers could say, if you see that there's a gun in the car, we need to step out for this reason, kind of explaining it?
Well, I'll defer to the video. I mean, it's, you know, that's the best evidence on it. But I'm pretty sure that Officer Graham announced that he saw the weapon in the back of the car, and he was notifying his partner, Officer Long, who was on the other side of the vehicle, that, hey, there's a weapon, you know, I see a weapon. And so, of course, that changes, you know, their techniques, and officer safety becomes even more important. So, you know, whether I mean, I did not hear him explain to the defendant, you know, until it was, I guess, later into that action, that he was concerned about officer safety because of the weapon. But my memory is that at the initial start of his body cam video, he says AR-15 when he's shining the flashlight in the back seat. So that's to let Officer Long know he sees a weapon, and it changes the equation.
Plus, the case that he referred to, we have the right to ask you to get out. Doesn't mean you done anything wrong. We're just asking you to get out so we can do our job.
And the Mims case was over a weapon also.
I mean, just because you get out of the car with us, don't mean you're going to jail. We're just wanting to talk to you and find out what's going on.
So with the driver, was she had any levels of intoxication, or was
no,
she was not impaired.
Okay, and so was she ever taken into jail or anything? Or
Nope,
was just,
she was written a citation and let go.
Okay.
I did hear her say, when asked about what his identity or his name, she identified him as a person that is not his actual name. So, but she did later say, you know, his name is however you pronounce it, and I can't pronounce it, so.
Have any of the officers that were on scene ever had past instances where they displayed any violence?
Not that I'm aware of.
No.
How long have the first two officers, how long have they worked here?
Justin hadn't been here that long. Derek's been here about a year. Almost 2 years. I think Justin's been here 5 months, and like he said, he worked at the Marion County Sheriff's Office, and he was with the SRT team and all that. I had a person that went to another department, so I hired him to fill the spot.
He's been in law enforcement for several years.
Derek, his partner's kind of like a newbie, but he's learning. He's a good guy.
What were their official titles like working here?
Patrolmen's.
Okay, patrolmen's.
And so then in that technique that they use, I forget what the name of it was.
Brachial, the brachial stun technique.
And that's supposed to go to the neck.
Yes.
But since the passenger moved a little bit, it went to the base.
Well, you got that, and he's sitting, Justin's up above him. You got the car lid, or the roof. I mean, he's having to bend over and try to do it. I mean, her video shows him making a strike, but if you slow it down, he's hitting with this part of the hand right here, which is the fattiest, beatiest, softest part to keep from doing damage. It strikes the vein, and it jolts you where you can get compliance to get somebody out.
And the DA is the one that slowed it down to
see that.
And when are officers told to use this technique?
When, well, like that incident, if you don't have anybody that's complying, I mean, the thing we're taught to do is do less damage to a party as you can. I mean, some of the videos that are out there and what's going on, it don't seem that way, but that's how you're trained.
There is an escalation procedure that the officers are taught and instructed, and they have training on this every year. And in this case, you saw that the brachial technique was employed. The OC, which I call pepper spray, because I don't know what OC stands for. I'm sure it has some formal name. And then lastly, the technique that was implied that was successful was the taser. So it's, you know, it doesn't start off, you pull your gun and shoot somebody. They're trained to use the least, I guess, invasive technique first. And then if that doesn't work, they move to the next technique. And that's all in the law enforcement training standards. It's in the post certification standards, and it's also in our policy and procedure manual. The steps to take when you're not able to gain compliance with the least restrictive technique.
I mean, after this incident was over, everybody there still showed him the most respect by not punching him anymore, making sure he got attended to like he was supposed to. The video showed it. I mean, the video speaks for itself.
And you got to realize too, when the officers, there's some adrenaline initially when you make any traffic stop. Doesn't matter if it's for a speeding ticket or running a stop sign or anything of that nature, because the officer doesn't know what's waiting in that car. So, so that the adrenaline starts pumping, and then as the situation escalates, I mean, this became a high adrenaline situation. The defendant wouldn't cooperate. They were trying to physically remove him from the car. So the adrenaline was really pumping, and so the officers did a good job of keeping that or managing that adrenaline to control the situation, to cause the least amount of harm to the defendant. I mean, you saw that he was taken out to the ground. He received medical treatment, prompt medical treatment, and as far as I'm aware, he had no serious physical injuries or anything, any adverse impact other than being put on the ground because he would not comply with the commands.
Has he posted bond?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got it. If there was not a gun in the back seat, would he have still been asked to get out of the vehicle and pull it out and all that?
Maybe not.
Right, maybe not. I mean, he still could have been, because by law we can, but just because the way the situation occurred, I'd say more than likely not, because the man hadn't broken any law. He done the right thing. He had somebody driving him around while he was intoxicated. That's what you do. But when you don't answer questions, don't comply.
The weapon, it escalated it escalated the situation. There's no doubt about that. The officer believed there was a live AR-15 assault rifle sitting in the back seat. If that had not been present, it may have been an entirely different situation. But that did, when the officers were alerted to that became a primary consideration, in as this
Well, I mean, an
proceeded.
escalation of fear come in, because you don't know what's going to happen or if there's another weapon in there. I mean, you're always, y'all report the news, you're always wondering what could be, especially in today's time. I mean, on any traffic stop.
It's just a climate we're in.
It is.
What time of night did this?
It was 30 minutes after midnight.
Midnight. Okay. And was
12:30
this in Jasper, or was there also some Dunlap law enforcement that was involved?
No,
in
there
this,
was
or?
some county officers involved and highway
THP.
patrol.
Okay.
And Kimball officers.
Yeah, and Kimball officers came.
Were any of the officers struck by the passenger?
I think Officer Graham was.
I think he was the only one that was actually.
I'm not sure about if.
I don't think Derek was.
Okay, well, there was an officer that entered into the driver's side to assist getting him out of the vehicle. I don't know if he was struck or not.
And he was It was a county
That was a
officer.
county officer, yes.
Can we get the road name of where this was?
Highway 28,
Yeah, Highway 28. And I'm not sure what that exit number is.
155.
Exit 155, Highway 28.
So at least one officer was struck by the passenger.
There are 2 counts of assault on an officer. I can't tell you if those are 2 separate strikes on Officer Graham, or if Officer Long was also struck while he was attempting to extract the defendant from the vehicle. Both officers were on the passenger side trying to get the defendant out of the vehicle. If you'll recall, Officer Long went to try to get him from the vehicle when Officer Graham got the pepper spray in his eyes and was trying to radio the county for additional assistance. So that is that may be when Officer Long was struck.
After seeing the video, have there been any conversations talking about like culture within the department? Is that a worry?
Not with my department. I mean, my department's aware of it. We do meetings at least once a month. Usually we do it before city court. We bring up new stuff, what's going on. You know, I emphasize, I mean, we're human, and I want to emphasize to my guys all the time, you know, their safety comes first, but you also have to have the respect part of it. I mean, it's pep talks. I mean, you got to let them know what's going on. You got to let them know, you know, they do a good job. You know, we're behind them. I know they're going to do a good job, but I mean,
it's also updates on, you know, new developments in the law. The law changes quite often. It's updates in new techniques to employ, new training procedures. You know, if there's new hazards or new things they need to be watching out for, new movements that we need to be aware of. It's just kind of you know, the police department has their monthly, it's really like an update meeting to get current on what events are happening now, if there's any new training techniques, anything like that. And like the chief says, you know, to what he calls a pep talk is actually, you know, saying, hey, look out for this.
Yeah, and I mean, they changed the terminology. It used to be use of force, now it's de-escalation. I mean, the law's changing. The law wants you to use different tactics and more subtle things. I mean, it's something that evolves yearly, and some of the stuff evolves monthly. Like Mark says, he gets a letter all the time where something may be changing, and we use Mark all the time to get the gist of what we actually have to do to stay in compliance.
My last question, what's next for the city of Jasper?
We go on day to day.
Well, of course, the case is proceeding through the court system, and so, you know, whatever outcome comes out of that, one case is going through the county, the defendant with the assault charges. The driver, her case is going to go through city court, and so those, you know, whatever the outcomes are of those, that's to be determined. If the district attorney's review or investigation, if you want to call it that, turns up anything that the town needs to focus on or revise or change, then, you know, we'll put that in our policy and procedure manual, and we'll make those changes.
I mean, the main thing out of all of this, nobody really got hurt at all. Whether it be the defendant, the driver, my first officer, my second officer, nobody actually really got hurt. It ended like it was supposed to. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got killed.
Everybody went home.
Everybody went home.
Do you believe social media is just kind of skewing what actually happened?
Yep.
Absolutely.
I do. I think it's
Absolutely.
this environment we're in. It's really good.
That's what makes money.
The phrase I use is that video was cherry picked. The scenes that seem to be the worst there wasn't any, lead up or any information before that to see what caused that. That, if you watch that video, you basically think the officer just walked up to the vehicle and punched the man in the face. And that's certainly not what happened, as you see here. That video, I think, is maybe 2 minutes long, and we've been here, we have 30 minutes worth of video. So it was picked for its particular context.
In society today.
You think if the average viewer may have seen what we saw today, they would have a different perception of?
Well, hopefully they will. That's why we're putting this video out, to make it available to the public. I'm sure there's a certain segment of society that they can watch it 100 times and they're still going to have the same opinion that they have with the cherry pick video. That's in all aspects of life that we deal with nowadays. The hope is, though, that the person who doesn't already have that preconceived viewpoint will look at it and see the complete story and say, okay, that makes sense why, the officers were acting in the manner they were acting. They can see the whole story, and that's what our hope is.
There is also a GoFundMe going around that I believe they've said.
I heard that, but we're not aware of that at the town.
That one I just finally got the link to, and it said that there's a video going around. Most think he was wrongfully arrested and spent the weekend in jail. And so it's kind of gives some information on that. But
are you talking about a GoFundMe for the defendant?
That's yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
for Sal, so Justice for Sal or something.
Some of the folks see their true video, they may want their money back.
I mean, we had a GoFundMe once before. The guy that I arrested at one of our football games from South Pittsburgh, it was intoxicated, was harassing the football players as they come out. They done a GoFundMe page on him, and he was wasted.
Yeah, that's not really something we're aware of or that we track or follow. So if he's got to go, everybody's got a GoFundMe page apparently now. So.
Any more questions?
Is there anything else that you guys think is important to note that we didn't go over today?
I think we covered. I think that we covered the important aspects. The important thing that the town wants to convey is that the officers, they're trained. They receive annual training. They followed all of the standards and training from the Law Enforcement Training Academy and the Police Officer Standardization Committee training, and they also followed the town's policies and procedures for the police department. What was depicted on the video, that's their training. That is the manner in which they are trained, and that is based on the guidance that we received from the Law Enforcement Training Academy and the Post Commission. So we do not see any deviations from from those standards. And of course, the laws. That's right.
I mean, the law can stipulate how far you can go. That's what they're there for.
The law typically doesn't get into technique, though. The technique is devised by the training folks. So.
Is that all y'all need?
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, guys.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
How can we receive copies of everything?
I got it right here for you.